Not to say I called it, and I rarely do this, but I called it. I made a video last year on November 8th, 2021, calling Deebo a hybrid beast and an emerging superstar because of his ability as a receiver, but especially the threat and ability he had as a runner. But at this point in the season, on November 8th, right after their Week 8 matchup against the Cardinals, he only had 7 carries for 21 yards. But I saw what they were doing. I saw how they were manipulating defenses by having him in the backfield and how this could make their offense so scary. Well, from the time that video was released, he went on to carry the ball another 79 times in the rest of their games and finished with over 500 yards on the ground, averaging over 6 yards per carry, and cemented himself as one of the most deadly weapons an offense could have. But we're going into a new time. Deebo doesn't want to play the wide back position anymore. He doesn't want the hits on his body, and he sees the career path for running backs in their current trend, and he looks around the league and sees how long receivers are being able to play now and how much money they're getting in the current market. So he's currently doing a hold in at the 49ers training camp until he gets a new deal, and he can be assured that his contract, he won't be forced to play running back and wide receiver. And let me be clear, he is too valuable for them in their championship run for them not to pay him. And I don't even fault Deebo. You only have so long in the NFL, and also as a business decision, it's really a no-brainer for him to take this approach. But now, we have a more specific question. Is Deebo Samuel an elite receiver? He's asking and is more than likely going to get paid like one, but my initial video talking about his foreseen greatness was because of his ability to threaten defenses at both positions. Is he taking away too key of an aspect of his game to warrant top dollar? Is his dual threat ability the sole reason someone like Chris Sims and others see him as a top 5 receiver in the league right now? Or does he not need to play this wide back position to be great, and he can straight up compare to other top receivers in the league today without this added element to his game? Well, that's exactly what we're going to cover in today's video, so strap in because there's a lot to talk about and some film we need to watch to get a better understanding of where we should stand on this question. So let's get right into it. But before we do, very quickly, the new NFL Plus Premium, or the old Game Pass, just went under their yearly update, and for some reason, all the 2021 film is just gone. It happened in the process of me making this video, so I don't have the coaches film from this, and I had to replace with the broadcast angle view, so I had to take some clips out, put some new ones in, and trust me guys, it doesn't frustrate anyone more than it does me. I want to give you guys the best content possible, but I wouldn't be posting this video if I didn't think I could get enough film or the right clips out there to make my point across. So if you guys can bear with me, I adjusted a lot of clips, took some clips out, put some new ones in, but I'm still able to get my point across, and it's a really good video, so I hope you guys enjoy it. But that's it from me. Let's get into it. When people think about Deebo Samuel or this 49ers offense in general, they think about plays like these, and they break it down into a play action where Deebo Samuel takes his man across the field, and this is what their offense is. And so you could really substitute or plug and play any guy that, like Deebo, runs a 4-4 and be able to plug into his offense. However, this is a gross misrepresentation of exactly what Deebo does, and I'm going to show you exactly why. And a play like this is a perfect example. So right now, the Eagles are in a clear cover 3 look. What we can't see right now is there's one high safety, but the corners are bailed off. So this is obviously a standard cover 3, 4-man rush. There's going to be the flats here, middle of the field, and then the corner is going to have their respective deep thirds, and the middle field safety is going to have their deep thirds. And we have Deebo Samuel right here. So if we slow things down, we see Deebo start to make his way up the field, and we see all the Eagles players start to drop back into their zones. We see the linebacker locking eyes on Deebo, and right now he has to think, is this my man, or am I passing him vertically to the one high safety or the corner if he breaks out on a corner route? And Deebo shows no signs of anything else besides running vertically. The linebacker is staring right at him, ready to pass him off, but watch right here. As soon as Deebo Samuel crosses his line of vision, as soon as the linebacker takes his eyes off of him, Deebo Samuel is coming right off his butt and coming across the field, and Jimmy Garoppolo is able to make this throw, and it's still an incredibly tight window, but let's take another look at this. And we get a better view of this here, but Deebo Samuel is an incredibly smart receiver, and this play only works, and it barely works, because of the nuances of Deebo understands the game and this 49ers offense. He understands its zone coverage, and as soon as the linebacker takes his eyes off of him and passes him onto a corner or safety behind him, he knows that it's his time to come right off his butt, and he even takes this route a little bit more vertically in order to avoid number 49 coming across the middle of the field, giving Jimmy Garoppolo just enough of a window to make this throw right here. So while this looks like a really regular play from the 49ers that you'd see every day, we don't know the nuances of Deebo's football IQ that made this play possible. And another thing that I really think gets underestimated from Deebo Samuel's game is we always see him running wide open because the 49ers scheme him open, but he has some amazing hands and he's able to go up and make fantastic contested catches like these on the regular. And we see that here in a perfect example against this Week 8 matchup against the Cardinals, Trey Lance's first start, and he's going to be a huge part of this, but we also saw this against the Lions early on, and even as far in the playoffs in some huge crucial games. So we've seen him be a smart receiver and be great for the 49ers system, but we've also seen him use his freakish athletic ability and explosiveness and great hands to go up and make those contested catches, but he can also play track star for this team when he needs to. Like in this play against the Chicago Bears, the winding seconds of the first half when Deebo just needs to run straight and there's no route, there's nothing else to it, but just beat your man in front of you. Even when they have a 10-yard cushion, he is able to go out and do that with his 4.4 speed, and this is a huge part to the 49ers offense, to stretch the field vertically. And we always talk about George Kittle and how much of a safety blanket he was for Jimmy G and how he just works the middle of the field. But Deebo Samuel is going to be huge for Trey Lance as well as George Kittle in his development as he starts out as the official starter for the 49ers. Like on a play like this, how he's able to work the middle of the field, be that security blanket, but also what he can do picking up yards after the play, as he averaged 10.1 yards after the catch per reception. But this brings me to my last point. Because people are so concerned of what he's not being able to do if he's not going to be running between the tackles anymore because he was so good as a running back. But that doesn't mean that Deebo Samuel isn't still going to be making plays like these. This is absolutely part of wide receiver responsibility, and he is going to consistently get these short screens, get these swing passes, and do damage. He was doing it all last year. What he's able to do with the ball in his hands is why he was able to have 77 receptions and take those 77 receptions for over 1,400 yards. He is electric. He runs like a running back. He has running back vision. And even though we won't be seeing him taking these hits out of the backfield and in between the tackles anymore, plays like these, and even in the playoffs, he was able to make game-breaking plays like these. Do not expect that to go away. That is here to stay, even with his new contract. So he has the size, he has really good hands, he has good top end speed with really nice initial bursts, a nice release, good route running, and probably what he's best at is what he can do with the ball after he catches it, because he had an astounding 10.1 yards after the catch per reception, which is just incredible, really. And this is how he turned 77 receptions into over 1,400 yards in the regular season. But when you take out his element of being a running back, it seems like as a receiver, he's more in the AJ Brown, DK Metcalf range, which is still incredible, that 8 to 10 best receivers in the league, but his pure receiving skills in the game isn't quite at where Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp, or Justin Jefferson stratosphere. We can look at this in terms of production as well. It's not like he's going to pick up another 500 yards and 8 extra touchdowns back through the air. Those yards are going to be distributed amongst other 49ers running backs. But let me be clear, I still 1000% agree with his decision not wanting to run between the tackles and take hits off his body, and I think the 49ers should pay him top dollar like the other receivers are getting, because he is so valuable to their team. This offense goes as far as Kittle and Deebo go, and even though he might not be the pure receiver as a Justin Jefferson, what he does for the 49ers in the quick screen game, in the play action game, and being able to take the top off the defense, he is the perfect guy physically, and he fits the culture for their team, is already a great leader. And personally, I don't think there's another receiver in the league that you could offer the 49ers to trade for Deebo that they would take straight up, because he's so perfect for their offense. And so without a doubt in my mind, the 49ers, even if he says he's not going to play running back anymore, he is absolutely worth top dollar. But I just don't currently see him as a top 5 wide receiver in the league right now, if that makes any sense. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure to like this video if you like videos like these. Make sure to comment down below what you think. And make sure to subscribe if you enjoy daily sports content. I appreciate y'all so much for checking out the channel. And as always, I will see you all tomorrow. Peace.